Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hivemind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left, or exposing the abundant cognitive disability of Joe Biden. The man continues to be the biggest joke in politics. He's not the butt of a joke, he is a joke. And the trend continues. Just because he was elected to the office of the president-elect doesn't mean that Joe has changed whatsoever. On the contrary, in fact, he's just as ridiculous as ever. And finally, he left the basement, which is the office of the president-elect. He's left the bunker, addressed the nation on the day that the Electoral College picks him as the victor of the 2020 election. And of course, we gotta cover it, we gotta talk about it, the gaffes, the goofs, the memes, pretty much all of it. And so that's exactly what we're gonna do. But before we get into any of it, of course, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share the video as much as possible. Those are by far the most important things that you can do to help us here at the Liberal Hivemind. We are still shadow banned, quarantined from non-subscribed viewers, and so you must share the video as much as possible. Now with that out of the way, let's roll the tape. Alright guys, so Joe Biden finally left the basement to declare victory of the Electoral College in 2020 and address the nation as President-elect Joe Biden to be inaugurated on January 20th. And so that's what the Biden team did. They set up a whole thing from the office of the basement of the President-elect, and Joe came out trying to seem as presidential as ever. But it felt more as though he seemed as geriatric as ever. And so you're talking about the potential future president addressing the nation for the first time in their, quote, victory. And you would think, man, there must be such incredible enthusiasm. I mean, Joe Biden is historically the most popular president of all time, with the highest vote count and the most incredible voter enthusiasm since Barack Obama, who of course we know at the time had some of the highest levels of enthusiasm we've ever seen. And man, did that play out. Joe is just so incredibly popular, folks. Not only do the ladies love him, but the whole globe was there ready to watch. And so the live stream began. They went live. Joe Biden national address as Electoral College confirms presidency. Womp womp womp. 451 views. And so of course you might be saying, hey, but it says the stream started 5 minutes ago. This must be at the start before people got into the stream. I mean, first of all, people know about the stream before it starts, and if this was President Donald Trump, there'd be like 150,000 people just waiting. I mean, sometimes it's even like that for a basic rally in a random state, but even then, okay, that's your argument. Well, on C-SPAN, even after the address to the nation was done, after they had tabulated all of the views from the live stream, womp womp womp, 4,000 views. Right, 4,000 views, 81 million votes. I guess the vote blue no matter who concept is just so incredibly powerful. But man, this guy is such a nothing. I've said that from the start. Joe Biden is such a nothing candidate. There's nothing going on there. There's no charisma, there's no policy, seemingly there's nothing going on in his empty skull, and nobody wants to watch him. Nobody cares what he has to say or who he is or what's going on. And some people might argue voting for Joe Biden was voting for things to just get boring again. Well, if that's what you voted for, I guess you are in fact getting what you want. But what an absolute train wreck of an event. I unfortunately had to actually watch his speech because, well, it's kind of my job. And when I say he is a nothing candidate, it could not be more true. In fact, 50% of his speech was either incoherent, him struggling to read off the teleprompter with his confused puppy face, one sentence at a time, as slow as ever, and the other 50% was him coughing. Just check out this.
Excuse me, the results. And I'm convinced for the soul of America. And now it's time to unite. I will be president for all Americans.
Yup. Ladies and gentlemen, if things go the way the Democrats want them, that is going to be your next president. Ugh, what is that? All right. So I'm ragging on his speech. It was boring. It was incoherent as usual, pretty much what you'd expect. But at least there was one somewhat enjoyable part. At the end of it, as Joe was wrapping up, a reporter asked him a question about his son Hunter, which he didn't necessarily like so much. Check this out.
When did you find out your son is being investigated?
Thanks for the congratulations. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And man, you can tell the questions about Hunter Biden are really starting to get under his skin. And once again, he's as coherent as ever. So here's actually the transcript. The reporter yells to him, "When did you learn your son was under investigation?" He then turns around, snaps, gets triggered, and says, "Thanks for the blah, blah, congratulations, appreciate it," and then shuffles away with his wife Jill. Yep, this is the man who's sharp as a tack, as you'd want your president to be, who can't even get a witty response out straight, fumbles all over his words, thanks for the congratulations, slurring his words and spitting probably all over himself as he gets triggered when confronted about his son. It's a complete joke. No wonder there's only 4,000 people watching in total on C-SPAN for what's supposed to be a historic event of a, quote, new president addressing the nation. And it continues. It's basically what we've seen from the start. You know, they kept saying during the election season, oh, the reason Joe has no crowds is because they're just so responsible, folks. They draw these little circles on the ground. They're such good people. Everyone stays in their little circle, and Joe wears a mask that covers 70% of his face. But how does that justify the lack of his online enthusiasm and presence to his rallies and events? Well, it doesn't. And speaking of his events that are not online, once again, Joe Biden holds parking lot rally for Ossoff and Warnock at empty warehouse. Photos. Where are the people? Check this out.
Oh, Georgia, it's great to be back.
And so it seems like there might have been like 5 people there. Oh, plus these two. Damn, what is that, like 7 people at his rally? I think that's a record for poor old Sleepy Joe. Alright, but we get it. His rallies are small, and all of the real enthusiasm and all of the coverage that he gets just comes for free from all the fluff pieces and all the love notes to him and his campaign coming from left-wing journalists. And of course, they continue. Very recently, we've got this story just coming out. Biden picks Pete Buttigieg, 38, as transportation secretary, making him the most senior gay official confirmed by Senate. And once again, pushing this phony narrative as if Joe Biden is the most pro-LGBT president of all time. I just played this in my last clip, but let's play it again. Don't forget this.
Do you support gay marriage?
No, Barack Obama nor I support redefining from a civil side what constitutes marriage. We do not support that.
I'm seeing a lot of people.
Women-wise?
Women-wise, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
into women more than men. I mean, you know, I'm all for guys that like men, but it's just not my thing.
Right. You really
I
like
never
women.
really understood that.
What? Guys that like guys?
Well, I think
Well,
it's
that's not
terrific
you.
if they're really into it, but, you know.
Man, Pete Buttigieg, pretty much the only guy from the campaign outside of Kamala Harris that's being pulled in. It's funny how only the establishment folk are the ones who get into the Biden cabinet. Also kind of funny that Buttigieg gets transportation secretary. I mean, transportation secretary, isn't that like putting him in the cellar with a little rinky-dink desk? I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not exactly an expert on White House cabinet positions, but I also find it funny. I love how the Daily Mail writes, the most senior gay official confirmed by the Senate. Don't you remember that piece from a couple weeks ago as Joe Biden is the first president ever to have an all-females communications team, when literally the president has an all-female communication team? The absolute astonishing virtue from Biden to appoint Pete Buttigieg. Well, what about President Trump, who nominated Richard Grenell as U.S. ambassador to Germany and now has him serving as director of national intelligence? I mean, that was a pretty big step. Once again, the president's ahead of all of these dweebs when it comes to real social justice. A Trump supporter, Grenell was named by Trump in 2020 as acting director of national intelligence in the Trump administration, making him the first openly gay person to serve at a cabinet level in the United States. He was acting DNI from February to May 2020. Yep, President Trump, once again, a step ahead of all of them. The first president to enter office while supporting gay marriage in the first place. First president to really do a whole lot of this stuff, to not only talk and campaign and virtue signal, but to actually do, and he gets no credit for it. Meanwhile, Joe Biden lags behind, and they treat him as if he's some sort of trendsetter who's changing the mold. Give me a break. But that's the video that I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, quarantined from non-subscribed viewers, so I'd really appreciate that. Now I gotta get back to work because there's a whole load of hypocrisy that must be exposed on a daily basis. You know, it's a daily gig. So I'm gonna get to that. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.